Hello, and welcome to the channel! We're back with the Vocaloid Genshin designs, the sequel to the Genshin Miku series. If you have seen neither of those and stumbled on this video by accident, worry not, I have a playlist for both series in the description of the video. Feel free to watch these either after this video or just skip the whole video and watch the playlist instead. You do you, as long as you enjoy the content. But for those who have seen all the videos, we've done Luca, Meiko, and Kaito, so this video will be the last one featuring the Krypton gang. After that, Teto will make her appearance for the final video in the series. But for now, let's just focus on Rin and Len's Genshin designs. As always in this series, we're getting the element, weapon, and region from the gachapon. Let's get started! Geo! Snaznaya! And Sword. I did not expect to get Geo for this, but I was very grateful because that meant I wouldn't have to overthink their color scheme too much. Maybe I did in fact have to overthink their colors. I was a little less thrilled about Snaznaya though, and I'll admit I was hoping it would not show up for the series, since the region's not out yet, but I persevered. One thing I already knew I wanted to do with these two, regardless of region, weapon, or element, was reference very early gameplay speculations for Line and Lynette, back when the Try trailer was all the information we had on future regions and characters. Because they were shown posing together, a lot of people thought they might be a 2-in-1 character where you could swap from one to the other. I always find the idea super cool, so I figured, you know what, I can do it here. Although to make things more manageable, I already knew they'd have the same weapon and element, so in concept, it's actually closer to Farina and her swapping between her Usia and Numa forms. But for now, let's focus on actually giving Rin and Len some actual designs. First things first, I had to decide what their link to the original Miku, Pyro Miku, was, which was extremely easy. I basically made them new recruits in the same Blizzard Rescue Patrol as her. With that in mind, I did a very basic mood board. I put some Snaznayan NPCs from Not Cry in there as inspiration, and since he gets compared to Len a lot, I put Mika in there to make sure I didn't make them look too similar. I was hesitating between big furry boots and super thick leg warmers for them, so I put both of those in there, and I'd probably decide which one I liked best during the sketching process. With the mood board on and basic ideas in mind, I sketched out a very basic idea of their outfits, trying to keep the spirits of their original Krypton designs in there, while still making them look wintry. I really liked the idea of giving them earmuffs to represent their headphones, but I decided to explore a few different ideas. I remembered a lot of Russian women wore headscarves during the winter, and since this is Snaznaya, I tried something similar for Rin, but I didn't really like the silhouette it gave her head. I tried to draw one that was shorter to mimic her short hair, with the knot being at the back of her head rather than around her neck, and while I did like it, I wasn't 100% satisfied. In the meantime, I sketched out Len with this hat that hides his ears, with his little pigtail sticking out. I ended up giving his hat a little pom-pom instead, and I really liked how it looked. I moved to sketching out their outfits using Pyro Miku as reference, deciding on their proportions, like giving Len a longer coat and longer shorts, but also slightly puffier sleeves. Rather than giving them both a regular scarf like Miku's, I decided a shawl wrapped around their neck would make them look more distinct. With that settled, I tried to really work out how I wanted Rin's headscarf to look before sketching out the final designs. Once I was satisfied, I moved to fully finalizing the outfits, and while working on Rin's, I ended up really not liking the headscarf again, so I added her earmuffs with her bow attached on the top, and I was finally happy with how it looked. Len gave me no such trouble, thankfully. Then it was time to decide on the colors. Definitely struggled here despite hoping I wouldn't. I was basically using Miku as reference for the color scheme, and I tried a few patterns before deciding to just focus on the major colors. And after a while, I thought I found something that kinda worked, but I decided to take a page from the Halloween video and do a few more color iterations. After hours of staring at the different outfit colors, I ended up asking a friend to pick one for me because I was just too indecisive, and he chose number 2. So number 2 it was. I could finally move on. I did a full turnaround of their designs, and you'll notice I went for the leg warmers rather than the fur boots. The boots would definitely be more practical, but the leg warmers have pom-poms and bows, which makes them the superior and cuter choice. I did also make a little logo for the Blizzard Rescue Patrol, but it's kinda scuffed and not amazing, honestly. It's supposed to say Snaznaya Blizzard Rescue Patrol in Tevat script, and I think it definitely will get a new design once I finally get to remaking all the Genshin Miku designs, whenever that happens. It will happen, I'm just not sure when. With all that hard work done, I moved to drawing the splash art. The idea for the burst was that they would both attack with their swords, dealing geo damage and also healing the whole team. Some of you might be wondering where the healing thing came from, and that has to do with the whole character switching thing. The first idea I had was to make it so you could switch between Rin or Len, and for that switch to stay in effect until you switch back to the other. So basically, they would both get icons, attack animation, and all that good stuff, as if they were 2 separate characters. So that way, if you want to play Rin all the time, you can play Rin all the time. If you want to play Len all the time, you can play Len all the time. But as fun as that idea was, I didn't want it to just be a gimmick, so I actually worked their kit around the concept. So when you're switched on one twin, you could summon the other one as an assist character. With the whole Blizzard Rescue Patrol theme, I figured it made sense for at least one of them to be your healer assist. That ended up being Len, who appears and throws sweets at the on-field character, while Rin is the damage dealer assist, dealing geo damage with a slingshot. I had an older idea where she'd straight up chug a big rock at enemies, but as funny as it was, a slingshot made a little more sense, and in terms of animation, it would be a little snappier. With the burst being both of them attacking at the same time, I figured adding Rin's healing factor was a nice little bonus. I had Polkra from ZZZ in mind when I decided on the assists idea, although visually, Shenhe's burst is closer to how I imagined the assist character would appear and disappear. I'll go more in details on all that in the kit part of the video. For their personalities, I like the idea of switching up Lainey and Nanette's dynamic, with Rin being the more lively one, but I also didn't want Len to be too mellow, so he's still fairly energetic, just not quite as boisterous as Rin. They have this habit of telling people that one of them didn't exist before the other got their geovision, implying that one of them is a geo construct created specifically so they could have a friend that would always be by their side and understand them. But if you ask them about it again, they'll look at you funny and say they're fraternal twins and were born on the same day. Nobody in the Rescue Patrol knows which story is true, and the fact that they alternate between insisting they're twins and saying they're technically not related because one of them isn't even actually human just makes things more complicated, so at this point, people have stopped asking questions. It's a little reference to the whole thing with Rin and Len being either siblings mirror of each other or 2 completely unrelated people, depending on what songs they appear in. And I figured it'd be kind of funny to turn that into some weird running gag that they have with people. I also really like the idea of it never actually being made clear to the player in-game either. For those of you who have been staring at the speed paint, you'll notice I decided to give them both a sacrificial sword despite initially sketching out an entirely different sword. That's because I remembered I'm really bad at designing weapons. And while I did try to do something in another file, it looked so bad, and I actually deleted it, so I can't even show you guys. You're not missing out on anything. It was really bad. So yeah, I figured I'm just gonna throw the sacrificial sword in there. Energy recharge would probably be good for these guys, right? I asked as if I wasn't the person designing them. And here they are in their final splash art. For their burst, Rin and Len attack together with a slash of their swords, creating an explosion of Geo and dealing AoE Geo damage, while also healing all party members. Rin and Len's elemental skill allows them to switch from one to the other when it's held. When Rin is the active character, tapping her elemental skill will make her attack the closest opponent with her slingshot, dealing Geo damage and summoning a Len Matryoshka. The Matryoshka will follow the on-field character, and for the duration of the skill, it will summon Len as an assist at intervals. When summoned, Len throws sweets at the on-field character, healing them based on his attack. With every summon, the Matryoshka loses a layer until it disappears, indicating the end of the skill. When Len is the active character, tapping his elemental skill will make him throw sweets in the air, healing the active character and summoning a Rin Matryoshka. It will follow the on-field character and summon Rin as an assist at intervals. When summoned, Rin hits the nearest opponent with her slingshot, dealing Geo damage based on her attack. Whether Rin or Len is the active character, they both perform up to 4 rapid strikes with their sword for their normal attacks. Rin and Len are the newest recruits of Shinsenaya's Blizzard Rescue Patrol and very spirited. Despite their young age and relative lack of experience, they are always ready and willing to take risks to help people, although to their chagrin, they aren't yet allowed to go on the riskier field missions. Most people aren't quite sure if they're twins or not, especially when either one of them will insist the other is actually a Geo construct created in their image, before changing their mind and saying they're actually siblings. Their odd antics are mostly believed to be some sort of practical joke, but no one really knows the truth of the matter. When they're not trying to convince their superiors to let them go on field missions or confusing people with their tall tales, Rin and Len like to join one of their more senior colleagues in song, managing to perfectly harmonize with her. If they don't quite know the song she's singing, it's fine, they'll just hum along. And there we go! Rin and Len have joined the Genshin universe, and with that, the Krypton team is all done. The next on the list is Teto. I'll probably figure out the gachapon for her depending on how I feel. We'll see how that goes. In the meantime, let me know how you like the duo. Do you guys think the gimmick is interesting? Which one of the two would you have as your active character most of the time if they were real? Let me know all about it in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and also, apparently, YouTube hasn't been showing my videos to my subscribers for some reason. Feel free to look around and check if you've missed any videos. For new viewers, don't forget the playlist link in the description, and feel free to subscribe if you like what you saw. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye!